Gentlemen, it's 10 years now since the first Ramones album came out.
12 years.
12 years?
Yes.
You're kidding?
No.
We lost 2 somewhere.
We lost 2 years.
That's extremely careless of
They
you.
took 2 years away from our life.
In the continuum...
They took 2 years away from our life.
In the continuum in which most of us exist, I think it's been 10 years since that first album came out.
That's the first album.
Your image hasn't changed much in that time. Was it from
We changed our shoes.
Yeah, but not the
Our
image.
socks.
I mean, you were 4...
Once in a while.
You got to change your socks every day.
You astonish me. The Ramones change their socks every day. But
Well, you can like wash it out in the sink with a little Brillo. And I tell you, I wash my socks in the sink after every show. After every show, that's what I do. People think I do all these wild things. I go into the hotel room and wash out my socks and my
With
shorts.
Brillo pads?
For the next, yes, with Brillo to scrub out all the rough spots.
my God, your feet must be
I
so
can testify to
disgusting. You
that.
need Brillo pads to wash out your socks.
I've got warts on my feet.
You work really hard at propagating this image, don't you? I mean, how much of this was put on from the start? Really,
It's all put on.
It's all put
It's
on.
all. It's all put on.
You're all really civilised, well-behaved chaps underneath.
Not me.
No?
I'm not civilized.
We're totally immoral.
Wild men of rock, in fact.
No, I don't think we are. I think we're pretty civilized.
You are?
Yeah.
God, you change by the second as well, don't you?
Well,
You're denying it 3 seconds ago.
We do a lot of benefits, you know, for a lot of deep, meaningful causes.
And as we started out a couple of minutes ago, you've been recording for 10 years. So does that mean that are you not as wild as you were then, perhaps? I mean, do you all live in, like, nice houses in the suburbs and things now, or what?
I live in a really nice luxury mansion in Whitestone, Queens, with my I have 10 dachshunds. And I chop the legs off them and drag them around the house, and I beat my children. I have 2 boys, 2 sons, Angelo and Gigi. Gigi takes after me.
You beat them. I mean,
I beat them with a rug beater.
not with the Dachshunds.
No, the dachshunds I beat with a cattle prod.
Can't you do anything with him? I mean, Joey, hello. Are you with us?
Yes, I just dozed off for a second.
Oh, right.
Back,
I'm
yeah.
sorry. Dee Dee Ramone, is it true that you yearn for
Children.
domesticity and children and things like that?
Dachshunds.
Have you been a Ramone for too long, do you think, now?
Yes, I have, and I'm ready to retire and be a non-Ramone and become a Christian.
A Buddhist monk.
A Buddhist monk.
Have you got plans on how you're going to finance your retirement?
You mean with the benefit that Mick Jagger is doing for us and Lionel Richie? Yes, all the rock stars are getting together and doing a big Ramones benefit so we can retire.
This is going to be one of those big stadiums in America that they all love playing so much, is it?
The biggest stadium, Shea Stadium.
Yeah.
And Reagan's going to come out there and
Throw out the first ball.
throw out the first ball.
Now, you have definite views about our old friend Ronald Reagan, don't you? Tell us about Bonzo Goes to Bitburg.
Well, that was one of the few serious songs we've ever done. And, really thought Reagan's a good guy and everything, I don't want to knock him. But, I thought it was pretty disgusting what the Nazis did, It was really awful. They were like the devils, and like Satan. A Nazi is like Satan. And for Reagan to go there and to go to the Bitburg Cemetery and to, praise these SS guys was really disgusting,
But a lot of people would say, I mean, nowadays it's so many years on, and it's all in the past, and you have to bury the hatchet and all that kind of thing.
That's what they were doing. It was all politics, I'll scratch your back, you scratch mine, that type of thing. And so he was going and scratching the Germans' back. I don't know what we need them for anyway, But I guess they're our allies, so he had to go over there and go to the cemetery. But what the hell did he go over there for? They were Nazis,
I'm surprised
You
to hear
can't go over there and do that stuff. That's really nasty.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I'm surprised you say that you like Mr. Reagan. I mean, do you endorse what he's all about? And
Yes, he's about being an American. and we are Americans.
Oh,
I know
yeah.
you don't like us.
What? No,
I know
no.
you're anti-American and you hate Reagan, but we have to like him, just like you like the Queen. You're not going to hate the Queen, right? She's your tradition. Reagan is the most American president. He's a cowboy, that guy.
Is there some kind of parallel here between Ronald Reagan and the Ramones? Something about something that's American through and through, and almost like a kind of a cartoon of Americanness.
Well, I think Reagan has his moments, though. You know, I mean, I'm not going to say everything he does. You know, he does on occasion. He does something right.
Like what?
I don't want to get into politics.
No, I thought maybe you had a specific instance in mind. All right, well, let's leave politics then. Lots of people watching this. I mean, we've got an audience that's mostly young
You can't get into
pop
politics
fans
when
and-
everybody on the show is,
Is what?
be ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm just interested
When
in what you
everything's
have to say about
lightweight.
it.
We can't talk politics. I mean,
Okay, all right.
too
All right.
radical.
Well, let's talk lightweight. Let's talk about
Well, we don't have to talk lightweight.
pop
but
history or something. Now, a lot of people watching this show, I mean,
We can
are
talk about
Europeans.
Lionel Richie, right?
Oh, let's talk about Lionel Richie then. You've got a real bee in your bonnet about
I don't wanna
Lionel
talk
Richie,
about
don't
him.
you?
I don't want to talk about
Well, he's a good piano player.
him. And he does a good Pepsi commercial back
Does a
home.
good Pepsi commercial.
He got me drinking Pepsi.
Led into a life of vice by Lionel Richie. God, I don't know what to ask you next after all that. How much effort do you put into, I mean, coming onto a TV show like this and trying to wind me up?
We
or does it just come
do have a
naturally?
picture of Prince Randy. Like England has their Queen Victoria, or whoever she was, and the Ramones have Prince Randy.
Well, tell me about him then.
Well, he's like a dachshund without any arms or legs. And this movie that inspired the whole Ramones, Todd Browning's Freaks, it was banned in Britain. And
Oh, it has been, no, it's been seen.
they
in
show it over here because
Yeah.
they don't show it in New York anymore. I've been dying to take my
been
wife
on television in
I've been
Britain.
married 7 years, and every year I say, honey, I'm going to take you to see this movie, this great movie. And it never plays anymore.
She has to do with Niagara Falls or something, does she, I suppose?
Excuse me?
Well, where do you take her if you can't take her to see Freaks? I mean,
To the tandoori place
oh, really?
for a hot tandoori.
It's not the same as seeing the film that inspired the Ramones, though, is
No,
it?
really, this movie is incredible, and it's about time that Prince Randy got some recognition.
I don't think I'm any the wiser about Prince Randy, actually. Would you like to explain?
Well, years ago, before they had rock groups, they had freak shows
Right.
in the circus, and instead of like little kids that would go to rock concerts, would go to freak shows. And Prince Randy was like one of the biggest stars. Like if you could imagine Mick Jagger or Paul McCartney of 1986. I mean, wait, this is 1986 now. 1886.
So what was it about him? I mean, was he a two-headed man or what?
No, he didn't have any arms and legs, and he could roll a cigarette with his tongue. And he could roll a joint with his toes, but he didn't have any toes. How
If
can
he
he
was
do
still
that?
around today, could you compete with him? I wonder.
You can't compete with those guys. That's why we're trying to give them the recognition that they deserve, you know.
The Ramones have been around for what, 12 years now or something
12
like that?
years and 2 days.
Will they go on forever?
No.
No.
One day it will come to an end, a close.
But how
The
will
curtain
you?
will come down.
How will you know when the time has come?
We're going to all meet in a room with baseball bats and have it out.
And vent all your spleen on each other. You can't imagine it. I mean, there is a danger, isn't there? I mean, couldn't you end up like the Beach Boys or something? You know,
Yeah,
or be, like
that-
in your 40s and still.
Yeah,
doing
it's bad because this punk rock thing didn't die, you know, and there's still a need for us. Like, you know, like when we play, like these kids that in 1976 that were coming to see us, like there's a whole new audience out there of young kids that were only like 8, 9 years old when this whole thing happened, and they're coming to the shows now and they won't give us any peace. We can't retire.
No, of course not. I mean, I suppose the theory is that you're needed because things have gone back to being as bland now as they were before punk, haven't they?
Yeah, it's bad, but there are good things out there. I mean, it's not in rock and roll. It's not happening, but more in jazz and blues and stuff. There's really good music being made today.
Do the Ramones have any kind of kindred spirits left? I mean, amongst rock bands, you think?
Not many. When kindred spirits.
What does that mean? I mean, like lighting a campfire?
Hardly. No, whatever it is that the Ramones do, that the Ramones have, that, as you say, people won't let you die because you never did bland out and you never did kind of turn into a top 40 poppy pop group or whatever, as so many others did.
I guess we carry the flame. You know, we carry the flame here.
Is that because you're purist, or just because you never got a big #1 hit record?
Well, it's both. If we, you know, like, it would have been nice to have a #1 hit. We had one over here, though, once. It was like #3 or something, you know. Like, we had a couple hits here in England.
But we're above that in a sense, even though we would like to have another one. But, I mean, it's not our major concern, you know. Our major concern is
our new record, we have this song called Something in My Drink, and I think it could be... you know, every time we put out a record, I always, well, we're going to have a hit here or we're not. You know, it doesn't really matter. But this one, I sort of think we're going to have a hit here.
It's double A side, isn't it?
Yeah. It's really a beautiful sleeve.
Now Joey's been sitting there so quietly and you interrupted him there because he was just about to tell me what the aims of the Ramones were as opposed to having big hit singles.
what the aims?
Yeah, you just said our major aim is not having a hit single. It's
Well, you know, it's nice to have one as well. But I mean, you know, we just it's not our major concern. We're not Duran Duran. You know what I mean?
of course. What's your major concern then?
Well,
Being the best, and you know.
some guy from the record company told me, I'm not going to mention this group's name, but this is like outrageous to me. Like, they said their goal was to have a #1 hit single in England, and like, if they didn't have this #1, they were going to break up and everything, you know.
Just as well.
And did they? I mean, have they? Can we now sit around trying to guess who they were?
Well, no, they didn't. They went to like #3 or something, you know. Like, and it was all chop suey from there, you know.
Let's talk about videos for a second, because that's what we're here for, I guess. How do you feel about making videos? I mean, is it fun, or is it something you have to be dragged into doing, kicking and screaming?
No, they're the worst.
It's not a very Ramone-ish type activity, is it, making videos?
No, it's not very much fun. It's awful, and they really get you. You have to work a full 24-hour day to make a video. It's the roughest thing.
Is that the worst thing about it?
Yes, you have to.
This is why you don't like it, because you have to do a
stand
full
under the
day's
hot
work.
lights. It's you know. I guess if you were the director, it would be different. And if you were the boss, if you were like saying, okay, I'm going to write my own video and I'm going to direct and produce it and I want it to come out a certain way, that would be more fun. Maybe I better get more involved in things.
Maybe you should.
Yeah.
I can see you giving orders to people. I'm sure it would come quite naturally. But you managed to come up with some end results that you're reasonably pleased with.
Well,
Even though you don't like
psychotherapy
doing
was, you know, like, God, like this new, like, I'd like to do a video for Something in My Drink, and I wrote a whole story for it. I never did anything like that before, and you know, I'd like to produce it and direct the video, the next Ramones video.